ankle strengthening resistance exercises. We'll start with our calf raise, double on flat. Then we're gonna go to our double on foam. Heels on the edge, up. Then you're gonna go up with 2, down with 1 for that eccentric control. Up with 2, nice and slow on the way down. Progressing that to a single leg stance. And then you can repeat all those same progressions you just did, but you're doing it at the edge of a half foam roll. Half foam roll up or half foam roll down. Okay. You can change the lever arm on these. You can do it with a step. Right, so you can put more of your foot on and make it real easy. Or you can make barely any of your foot on and make it much harder. And these same progressions where you go up with 2, down with 1. On all these different surfaces. You can do them holding a weighted vest. You would, for a calf raise, you would put the resistance around their waist. So I would be facing this way, around my pelvis, and then go into my heel raise this way. Be the way to do it. Resistance exercise. I'll be adding the TheraBand resistance exercise, Superband resistance, or physio ball resistance would be on the wall. This is what we call calf buster exercise. So you lean against the wall and do your plantar flexions here. It's a little bit difficult to see, so let me move it back. Pushing it into the ball, trying to crush the ball against the wall. You can do all these same exact progressions for your anterior tib, for your dorsiflexion strengthening. Come back to our first spot here. Where you're doing double limb toe raise on flat. Off of a step. Going down with 1, up with 2, down with 1. Or you can increase the speed, hold 1 in a dorsiflex position, and then tap with the other. Hold the dorsiflexion position with 1, tap the other. Do the same thing at the edge of a foam roller. On the flat side up, or the round side up. You can have them holding weights over the weighted vest. For this one, the Superband will be around the pelvis. Will be around, the pelvis here. And then they're gonna go into their dorsiflexion here. And the progression for the dorsiflexion with the physio ball resistance on the wall will be facing and then pushing your back into the wall from here. Alright, we went over calf busters. That's this one with the ball on the wall and pushing in. Your dorsiflexion against the physio ball. Closed chain, eversion and inversion. You're gonna use a half foam roller. You can use a long one like this, or they make ones that this size are cut nice and small as well. Either way. So you can start them out seated, right? And the goal of these exercises here is to get your ankle eversion, inversion. So we want it to come just from the foot. The mistake patients will make is they'll get a lot of knee and hip motion. There's obviously a very heavy band, so I won't do too many or with really the resistance on. But the idea with these, you can usually get a good amount of resistance. 28 pounds or so resistance is a 50-pound band, and they're gonna let the band win and then just use their ankle and not do this and make it a hip external rotation exercise. And then you would get the same motion by doing the other way, which I'll show you for the standing position, so you can progress to doing it standing, and which way you would do the same close chain inversion. Ankle four-way with a TheraBand. I'll show you in sitting here. Most places, you do it in long sitting on the table. Either way. TheraBand around the foot. Here's your plantar flexion. Again, nice and slow, controlled eccentric motion. For dorsiflexion, they're gonna plantar flex. They're gonna plantar flex. So I'm plantar flexing my left and doing ankle dorsiflexion with my right. Eversion, keeping the left still. You want to make sure the patient's going through their full range of motion, and then inversion this way. That's your ankle four-way, making sure they get a nice low controlled eccentric release in that open chain position. We did long sitting or supine eversion with a TheraBand. We did it there, you can see that. You can do that also in long sitting. Supine seated inversion with the ball. Would be here, squeezing together. That's your long sitting, or you can do it in supine. Inversion, same thing, just put the band around the legs around the feet for eversion. Ankle circles on a Dynadisc. So you're gonna get your Dynadisc. We're gonna start in sitting. This is gonna be more of your range of motion type of exercise in sitting, but it does work all the muscles, kind of like the BAPS board. Then you could do it in standing, again, where you're trying to get the motion from your ankle, not from just circling around the hip. And then the hard one, where it really becomes a resistance exercise, is trying to get all those motions in while standing single leg, and if you can do it with or without support. BAPS board is going to be the exact same way as we just did with this Dynadisc. All the same exact progressions. Seated, can do just plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, or eversion, inversion. Then you can do it standing with the other foot down, or then of course when it gets really hard, when you do it in single leg stance. And then all the BAPS boards have little holes, and these are the holes where you can add some weights to add some extra resistance to that exercise. dorsiflexion side step. So you're gonna have foam roller face down, just your toes on the board, foam heels on the ground, going sideways. And then you would make this harder by adding a resistance band around the ankles. Tandem walk on the foam roller will be this way. So now you're getting that medial lateral challenge. You can add a few of them in a row, so they really have to go a few steps, or they just have to hold here. You can have them step with a hip drive. And the hardest one is try to stand here, tie your shoe, untie your shoe, come back down, tie your shoe, untie your shoe, come back down. A posterior tib focus heel raise will be to put put a little ball like we use for the inversion in between the medial calcaneus. Squeeze the ball as you go into that plantar flexion. Squeeze the ball, plantar flexion. Squeeze the ball, plantar flexion. You can do the same thing in an eversion position with dorsiflexion. So you would dorsiflex and then evert, dorsiflex, evert, and you would add a band around the toes.